everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alexandra, and today I am rebuilding another build that I did in a previous video. So if you saw my park build, there was like this big castle that I used for a wedding venue, and it wasn't really a castle, it was like a big mansion, but I put absolutely no effort into furnishing it that well. There was like a ballroom, there was a kitchen, all the basic necessities to have like a nice wedding, but for the most part I just kind of kept it light. This one I'm rebuilding the exact same thing, and I'm doing a lot more. In fact, I added a lot more. I don't want to sound pompous and be like, oh, I have a lot more architectural details, but there are. So I added like this extra entrance into the home from the side. I added a turret, and I think those are basically like the two extra things that I added. And I was actually really inspired by the show that I watched like a long time ago, but I figured since we're going to be doing mansions and we're going to be doing big builds, why not go big or go home? And who went big or who went home? The French Sun King, Louis XIV. And this this video is going to be a little bit historic in that respect. I want to talk a little bit more about him because he decided to build a castle, the Palace of Versailles, around his dad's hunting lodge. So Louis XIV, also known as the Sun King, this is, and you know, like side note, I don't want to like go on a tangent here, but that's why I was like Sun King, yellow, it all fits together. I use nothing but like a bunch of yellow plants. I don't know what I think I did there, but I felt like I did something. Anyway, so I was like, okay, the Sun King, he wanted to take his dad's old hunting lodge, and it was built in like a really bad, like the land was not suited to build anything more than like a small hunting lodge. Really, it wasn't meant for big ticket builds, right? Especially not no palace. And so everyone warned him. They were like, look, this is marshy, kind of like boggy land. If you think you're gonna have any sort of stability, you won't. And he was like, I don't care, I want it. And so that's what ended up happening. So even though he had a lot of pushback from his architects, from his advisors, it was taking a lot of money, he was like, I don't care, I want it. And I want the heart of France to be here. I want all the upper crust of French society here. And that is exactly what happened. So even though it took him like a lot of money, a lot of taxes, everything, he really had to like, you know, excuse my French, he had to crap like on the common man in order to get his ideas built. But in the long run, we have one of the world's wonders of the world, known as the Palace of Versailles. And one of the things that they have is like that hall of mirrors, because I don't remember the exact history behind it, but he goes basically, I want all of these mirrors imported. I think you couldn't have mirrors above a certain size done at that time because it required a lot of mastery that wasn't, it just, maybe I'm wrong, right? So don't quote me on this, but apparently of the time, it wasn't something that was done, right? Having mirrors this size. And he was like, I don't care, I want it. He was very opulent and ostentatious in his demands, and that's what he wanted. So they ultimately gave it to him. And it's like a really grand scene in this show Versailles where they unveil this room, because it kind of chronicles his life when he finally gets to that old hunting lodge and wants to transform it. Very beautiful. I suggest you watch it. I think it's still on Netflix if I'm not mistaken. I don't have Netflix anymore. But it's a really good show to watch. And basically, I wanted to kind of replicate that in The Sims, but not that much, because it's The Sims, right? There's a lot of things about the Palace of Versailles that I would have tried to do had I had the time and the willpower. And basically, I rose up those Count Vladislav's portraits, and then I inserted some like mirrors in there, and kind of like along this hall, you can go and like see yourself, I guess. It's a lot better. I don't know. I like the screenshots. But there's a lot of things about Versailles that I kind of wanted to replicate. There's one secret hallway. There's one, right? But Versailles does have a lot of secret entrances, hallways, and stuff like that. And there's one connecting the king's bedroom to his official mistress's room, because that was like a thing. Like, even though he had his wife, he also had like a whole bunch of mistresses. And it would connect his apartment to like other areas, and then they would meet or whatever. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to connect those two rooms. But also, apparently, Versailles wasn't as hygienic as some people might believe, it wasn't even actually that common for people to wash their hair. What happened was that, like, unless it was indicated by your doctor that you had to use like some sort of rose salve or oil to wash your hair, people didn't do it. What they would do is just kind of like use like a sort of grease through their hair and then powder it so that it was very malleable and pliable for those very ostentatious updos. But other than that, for the most part, people were like, I'm not gonna wash my hair like once a week even. So okay. But one of the things is, I know that The Sims is like a game that, like, unless like you have a faulty stove, it doesn't really worry about like fire hazards or whatnot. But the amount of candles I used everywhere, I was like, in real life, there's a fire happening every other week, because this is crazy. So actually, this is the mistress's room. This is like the official mistress's room. And like if you want to get real juicy with the drama, like you can like have a mistress of the year, and then like once you're tired of her, like kick her out. I know French society was not always the best back in the day, but like the bathrooms really, like, people would just defecate and urinate in random places in the Palace of Versailles, because like bathrooms, like plumbing and stuff like that wasn't like a big thing. But for The Sims, I was like, I'll add in like a tub, I'll add in like a toilet, because I don't want my Sims needs going low. I added like a little nursery. I added some extra rooms for the Dauphin. Like that would be, I think, like the king's like heir apparent. That's like the next in line for the throne. And one of the things that I wanted to add was like a whole bunch of gambling rooms. And on the outside, I added this thing where you have these things from Island Living, but they're meant, if you look at the French grounds, like back in the day, like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place, but basically they had like on the grounds, like where you could sit and watch like the fireworks, especially in case like of a big area, and a lot of things were lit with candlework, and it gave candles, so it gave this very romantic air to like the whole thing. It was very romantic and beautiful, so I wanted to replicate that. And then I lined this garden path with a bunch of flowers from Romantic Garden stuff. So this is in no way a limited pack build, and it's really expensive. It's like 300 something thousand simoleons, if not more, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sorry guys, but I was in the mood to build something big and opulent and ostentatious, because sometimes you're just in that mood, but we're getting really close to the end of the video here, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here with me. If you're here with me this long, I appreciate you. And if you like this video, or you like any other video on my channel, please consider leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing, because that means you like my content, and I am always more than happy to leave you videos every other day. But that being said, oh no, wait, we actually do have a couple of more seconds left. Sorry guys. Yeah, I hope you enjoy like this long footage of me trying to make a like cutout path. Anyway guys, bye. I gotta go.